Everyone loves boobies. I think we might see some brown ones today in the Kimberley. You just got to know where to look. Just gone from this beautiful, like, big graded wide road to super narrow, barely fit the car, let alone the boat trailer, which is slightly wider than the car, to now kind of rutted out track and dips where big washouts and puddles have been sitting. Like, it feels like the Kimberley's just enclosing over you. You know, you sit still too long and the bush will take over. The islands we're going to today are called the Lacepede Islands. They were named after a French botanist in, I think it was about 1801. They were first discovered when someone was navigating the globe, sailing around, exploring the coastline of Australia, and came across these islands. Saw there was a lot of bird life on these islands, and so he named them after a good friend of his. The Americans came over, US came over, and basically tried to chuck the US flag in and claim the islands for themselves and claim the value of the island, which in those days, bird poo could be used in fertilizers. They staked the claim on the islands and started sending hundreds of workers over to these islands, super remote. Like, we're talking, you know, a couple hundred k's north of Broome. There was no roads out there. The only access was via boat, and they're sending hundreds of workers out here to basically shovel the bird poo onto the ships, and then send it back to the US. I also read a story about these guys. There's like a couple hundred workers on the island. When a ship came up to, you know, see what they were doing and why, you know, fertilizer wasn't making its way back down to Fremantle, down to port, they got there and the guys were on strike, and all of them were very drunk and disorderly. And I'm just imagining 1850s, nothing around. They've got heaps of booze though. They're sitting on bird poo, and they're just getting absolutely hammered because they're striking for whatever reason. And the ship sails past and notes this down in their journals. You know, they would have been hot, sweaty, covered in bird poo, and just drunk out of their minds on this little island, probably wondering what they are doing with their lives and why are they on an island sitting on a mountain of poo. So we made it out of the water. It is so clear, such a light little easterly. Buckley's on lookout, and out there, past the horizon, is where we're going. So, fair bit of motoring to do. I think it's 25 mile, and yeah, just Buckley and I. So, let's get to it. These guys are the gatekeepers. I've almost lost sight of one bit of land, and I can't even see the islands yet. I must admit, it's a bit of a weird feeling in a boat this size, completely losing sight of one bit of land before you can even see the next. You definitely feel very, very, very small. And these, my friends, are the brown boobies I said you'd see. Not the boobies you're thinking of. But yeah, they're all following me to the island. It's like they were, you gotta pass them to get to the island. It's weird, and now they're just sitting right behind me.
definitely a lot of birds around here. A lot of these brown boobies, which you can see flying over me. I had about 80 or 100 just before. I think they were kind of nestled on this little sand spit just here. Within 5 minutes, they were all over it. I'm very, very surprised I managed to get it down. They weren't happy about it. So if I'm going to put the drone up again, it's definitely going to be miles away from where these birds are, because I don't know if I'll get it back. Just getting absolutely circled. Oh my gosh, wow. It's pretty wild. They definitely protect their own out here. These are the ones that are, whoa, just saw a stingray jumping out of the water. Going nuts. Full airborne. Can't imagine 70,000 tons of bird poo getting pulled off these islands. It's yeah, that's incredible. And it blows my mind to think that they were out here 150 years ago with shovels, or however the hell they scraped it off these islands. Would have been tough going. Some local fellas told me there's a big croc floating around here lately, so just jumping from island to island. I mean, this water looks incredible for a dive, but it makes me nervous that there's a big salty living out here.
With a brave face, she's asking me to cut to the chase. Let her cut me off. Well, this love's transparent, it all passes through. Still wearing that brave face like you got nothing left to lose. Moving too fast.
So the only vegetation on these islands is what's called a roly-poly, basically like kind of like a spinifex. And you can see that sitting on the top of the dune there, and this is about as high as the islands get. Very, very low, no protection whatsoever, a long way off the coast, and well, perfect for migratory birds or birds that just live on here full time. Too bloody busy looking at these birds that I didn't realise, because of the colour of the water, I didn't realise how shallow it is. Lucky I was going really slow, but I hit the prop twice, so I really need to check that. Definitely don't want to be stuck without a prop out here. Jeez. All right, I've got forward movement. Bloody birds distracting me. Bloody boobies distracting me. I've done something to my sounder as well because it's not reading. Sounder is barely hanging on. Jesus, here comes the birds. times heavy ever. There seems to be like multiple thermals happening all around me. Ooh, getting pretty shallow here. Above me there'd be 300 birds. Ahead of me there'd be another 300 or 400 birds just finding this thermal at the very west end. One o'clock and still not a drop of wind. Really special day. Really fortunate to be out here when it's like this. You can see we're moving with the tide. I'm not motoring at the moment, so I need to make sure I get out of here before it gets too dry out there. Sure, it's well and good for me where I am right now, still a bit of water, but I need to get off this reef before it's too dry to get out of this atoll, so to speak. Literally gonna just have to try and float over this reef here. Oh, this one might break on us. Another 20 minutes, maybe 15. Wouldn't be able to get off that. Ooh. It's alright. Hey, I got you. Buckley, let go. Hey. Yeah. Good boy. Oh. There you go. It's a good way for us both to go overboard. Was that better? Was that better? Hey?